Hey everyone, thanks for clicking on my video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you why, if you haven't already, you need to start farming herbs now. Farming is a gathering skill which allows the player to plant and harvest crops, trees, and herbs. Herbs in particular present an interesting opportunity for us to make some GP, because the herbs we pick are used in producing potions, which are commonly used by the player base. To plant herbs, you simply need to take a seed or seeds to one of the patches located around Gielinor. There are 8 in total, each having different requirements and restrictions to their usage. There are plenty of guides which talk about these patches and optimal routes you might want to take when using them, so I won't cover that. But I will simply say this. As a general rule, you want to use as many of them as you possibly can for maximum gains. There are also a collection of items and boosts which you can use to help you harvest more herbs from each patch. Items like the Green Fingers Aura, Scroll of Life, Juju Farming Potion, and Magic Secateurs should all be used if you can, but using any subset of these items will only benefit you. There are also compost and plant power upgrades, which I will talk about in detail shortly. Don't forget the Farm Ecology Relic either, unlocked at 81 Archaeology, which protects all your herb patches from getting diseased. What I'm interested in talking about is what herbs you should be planting at each of the patches for all levels, and the expected GP gains we can get from them. Let's talk briefly about how the number of herbs you harvest from a patch can be calculated in Runescape. Herbs function a little differently than other harvests. In particular, the amount of herbs you get from each patch is not a static number, but has some stochasticity. What this means is that if you planted many herb seeds in many patches with the exact same setup and farming level, you would expect a distribution of harvests. Specifically, the harvest amount is based on a life system for the herb. After the seed is grown and you begin harvesting it, you will begin collecting herbs. Each herb you collect rolls a random number that determines if you lose a life. Once all of the herb lives are gone, the patch will become empty and the harvest is complete. The chances of saving a life for each herb harvested is determined by your farming level and the specific herb you are harvesting. Each herb patch has a base of 3 lives, but this can be increased in one of 2 ways. The first way to increase your herb lives is to use one of the 3 compost variants. Regular compost, super compost, and ultra compost increase your herb lives by +1, +2, and +3 respectively. The second way to increase your herb lives is by unlocking the plant power upgrades. There are 4 plant power upgrades, which can be unlocked by talking to Psydekics at the Garden of Carid, and exchanging Cruxiqual Favor for the upgrades. Cruxiqual Favor is gained by planting and harvesting herbs. You will gain Cruxiqual Favor fastest by planting and harvesting the highest level herbs you can, and you will need 250, 1200, 750, and 25,000 favor to unlock each of the plant power upgrades respectively. What the plant power upgrades do is allow you to plant multiple seeds in one herb patch, which gives you more herb lives at the time of harvesting, and thus a bigger harvest. The upgrades give +2, +5, +9, and +12 herb lives at the cost of +1, +3, +6, and +9 seeds for the lowest to highest tier upgrades respectively. And these stack additively with additional lives gained from compost usage. The complete picture of setups looks as follows. Notice how, as we use better compost and we take advantage of a better plant power upgrade, the number of herb lives we have for a patch goes up by quite a bit, all the way from 3 at no compost and 1 seed to 18 with ultra compost and plant power tier 4. To calculate the expected harvest per patch, there is some moderately complex mathematics which leads to the following relationship, which says that the expected yield is simply the number of herb lives you have divided by 1 minus the probability of saving an herb life for each herb harvested. To find the optimal herb for your current level, you would need to calculate the expected yield for all possible combinations of plant power and compost, and subtract the cost of the seeds used to get that yield, and use the combination that produces the highest gains. Luckily, we have computers that can do this process for us quickly. So, here's a table that shows you some good herbs to plant for all level ranges, the setups you should be using for optimal gains, and the gains you can expect to get. I will add as a disclaimer, this table is based on the current Grand Exchange prices that I was able to buy and sell herbs and seeds for. You should always check the margins on activities, no matter who is making the video you are watching, to confirm that the method still works. The leftmost column shows your current farming level. For your usage, you should find the lowest row that your farming level is greater than or equal to. That's where you're going to operate. The second column shows you some potentially viable herbs to plant at the time I am making this video. All of the listed herbs are viable as I write this script, with the margins increasing from left to right. I would recommend checking the prices on all of the herbs listed and picking the one that works best for you right now. The third column shows the optimal setup. Generally speaking, from what I have found, you always want to use Ultra Compost with the highest plant power upgrade you can use. This could change in the future, but only if Ultra Compost were to increase in price by a substantial amount. Using the highest plant power upgrade should remain fairly stable, but can change if the cost of seeds goes up a lot relative to the price of the herb. Again, you should check on these prices yourself as well. The fourth column shows the expected GP per patch. You'll notice a range because some players may not have the highest plant power upgrade. The low part of the range is for no plant power upgrades, but with Ultra Compost. And the high part of the range is if you have plant power tier 4 and use Ultra Compost. The fifth column shows you the expected GP per farm run, with the lowest range assuming you only farm one patch, and the highest assuming you farm all 8. Finally, the last column shows you the expected profits per day if you were to do multiple farm runs in a day. Herbs take between 1 and 2 hours to grow, so realistically, you are looking at being able to do between 1 and 4 runs per day, which generates the ranges of daily profits you can expect from herb runs. Keep in mind, these are all base profits, given only from compost and plant power upgrades. The profits can be increased if using any or all of the boosts I listed at the beginning of the video. All told, we are looking at potentially millions of GP gain per day just from doing 1 to 4 farm runs that take on the order of a few minutes each. Hopefully, this shows you why you need to start farming herbs to generate some quick and easy profits for your character. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I just hit 100 subscribers, which is so exciting, so I'm feeling more motivated than ever to continue growing this small chunk of the YouTube community that we have. I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. Until next time.